In this video, I'm going to be telling you how I spent $1.2 million cash, to be exact. And no, this is not clickbait. I really did spend that money, but I just want you to see that so you can see how this works out. I'm John from BulldogMindset.com. On this channel, I teach you how to be a man. I teach you how to build financial independence, how to get the physique you want, how to get the girls you want, and how to go from the victim mindset to the bulldog mindset. If that sounds like something you are about, click that subscribe button. Join us on this journey. I'm not clickbaiting you. I'm telling you, this is real, true story. What I did was I bought 2 units in a shopping mall, basically in the commercial shopping area. So this is the property that I bought. This is just the tenants that are in there. So because they were pre-leased by the builder. It's a brand new shopping mall, brand new spaces. These are brand new tenants in here. Okay. And this is the brochure that I got from a commercial broker. I've shopped around for quite a bit here, and you can see that, you know, that my 2 spaces are right here. Okay. It's no big secret. I don't know any reason to hide this from you guys, but this is where it is. It's in Liberty, Missouri. All right. There's a Petco right next door to me, and then there's a Kirkland's. Okay. And there's an Ulta down there. So it's a pretty nice shopping area, brand new. And these are my 2 units. Okay. So I have them fully leased from tenants, and this is what I was looking at. All right. And this is, you know, basically what I was looking at as far as what is this deal. All right. It's a commercial property, obviously, $1.2 million. All right. The cap rate on this is 7.25%. Okay. Now, what is the cap rate? The cap rate is simply the return that I'm going to get on this money invested, not counting any leverage or anything else, just a straight return after all expenses. This is key. It's after all expenses, right? So I get the rent from the tenant. I have to pay taxes, insurance, all this stuff. All right. Now, actually with this is what's known as a triple net lease. So the tenants basically pay everything. All right. So they pay the taxes, they pay the insurance, they pay all the fees for the shopping area and everything, and the rent. All right. I don't pay anything, and I don't take care of any maintenance aside from on top of the building, like the AC units above like $2,500 in expenses. There's like certain very small amounts of things that I take care of, but pretty much they take care of the building. Right. That's what a triple net lease is. And the thing about this is these are the true numbers. Okay. When you get a cap rate on a triple net lease commercial property, you're going to get 7.25% return on your money, almost, you know, pretty much guaranteed, aside from you losing a tenant or something extremely catastrophic happening. When you buy a residential property, I have a lot of residential properties, you can kind of guesstimate the cap rate, but you don't know. You don't know what the maintenance, what the expenses are actually going to be. You don't know what the vacancy is going to be, right? All those things. Okay. You can see the details on this. Also looking at this, right? This is where my property's at. These are all the other things that are in the area. You know, some pretty good shopping areas, a Walmart right next door. So this is all like really good retail area and growing. Again, this is my space. Petco, Kirkland's, Five Below, Ulta, right? Home Goods, Hobby Lobby. Pretty good spot to be in, right? So that's why I picked that. There's an Orange Theory over there on the other side, and bed and bath or whatever. So you can see kind of the breakdown of everything. So if you're looking at a commercial deal, you'll be looking at this kind of thing. All right. Now, I bought this cash, right? So they had some proposed financing here. So if you had bought this with a loan, you'd be, you know, putting down, or you'd be getting this amount, you'd be putting down $366,000. So basically 30% down on a 30-year amortization. Okay. With a 10-year term. And you'd be looking at this same net operating income, but you'd have to pay debt service on that. So your pre-tax cash flow would be basically $31,905. Okay. And your cash on cash return. So this is the percentage that you'd make based on the money you invested. For the people that keep on debating me on leverage and owing money, it would be better to actually be leveraged on this deal. As you know, I'm going to talk about why I didn't leverage on this deal in a second here, and why I will eventually leverage on this deal. But I just want you to see that so you can see how this works out. I've got all my financials in QuickBooks here, which you can see. This is looking at December on Real Estate One is the LLC that I have that owns this, and you can see the expenses or the income that's coming in from the tenants. Okay, and then the expenses here, and my net is $7,419. So I just put that in my pocket. All right, that's how that works. Now, some of my other properties are actually hurting for the had some big expenses that come sometimes with the real estate investment. And see, that's the difference between commercial and the non-commercials is the non-commercials tend to like fluctuate quite a bit. So I'm looking at doing a lot more triple net commercial investing. So I had all these other properties that I sold. I sold 6 properties last year when I bought this property, and a lot of those properties I made a lot of money on, right? So one of them I bought for like $68,000, sold it for like $140,000, okay, and I had paid down a lot of principal. In fact, I owned them all free and clear because I had paid off all these mortgages. Now, whether you should pay off mortgages or not, that's probably not the wisest decision. There were some reasons why I did it. I'm not going to go deeply into details, but let's just say that I wanted to turn the knob. There's a leverage knob and there's a cash flow knob, and I wanted to turn it to cash flow because I thought I was going to quote fucking retire, but I did not. Okay, what I did was I sold these 6 properties, and here's the thing: when you sell a property, okay, you're going to have a certain amount of gains, capital gains taxes, and some of that is going to be based on the value that you've depreciated. When you depreciate a property over time, you're basically changing your tax basis in the property. Let's take the property I bought for $68,000. Well, I depreciated it over like 20 years, and so I had basically reduced the value, like my position in the property, by $40,000. So maybe I was now at the point where, from a calculating like capital gains point, I was at like $28,000, right? So when I sell it for, you know, 130 or so, then I'm going to pay taxes on that money. You need to have a way to sell real estate without paying the taxes or deferring the taxes further. And so what you can do is you can use what's called a 1031 exchange. You sell the property and you never get the cash. It goes to an intermediary. Okay, the intermediary holds your funds, and then when you're ready to buy a property, they use the funds without you ever touching them and put them into new property so that you never have a taxable event. It's within the tax law code in the US, okay? So you have to check with your country to see if there's something similar, but this is how it works in the US. That's also why I bought it cash. That's complicated in the fact that you have certain time frames to identify target properties and then to actually make the exchange. You can identify only like 3 properties. There's a bunch of rules, but the simple version is that you can identify up to 3 exchange properties, right? So I had to basically go and figure out what my options were, and I named 3 different properties that I might buy and really get the property under contract to the point where I'm pretty close to knowing that I'm going to do this before I name those properties, and then I have to sell my other properties and then get all that money to go into this property all at the same time to close the escrow. A lot of people have done 1031 exchanges, but not very many people have done one where they've sold 6 properties and exchanged it into one. So now I have that money, okay, into that one property, that commercial property, and like I said, I'm making, you know, $7,400 off of that. Now, here's the thing, right? This is all you, like, let's say I just wanted to retire, okay? I could just live off of that. I mean, $7,400 coming in every single month, that off of $1.2 million investment, that's fine. You'd be totally fine with that, and you could just retire. So that's all you really need, right? Everyone's preaching, you know, the financial advisors are like, oh, how much money do you need for retirement and saving your 401k? Now, I realize that earning $1.2 million is not easy. It's not easy, but it's doable. Like, it's possible for sure. Well, my next move is probably going to be is to take this property, to go to the bank and say, hey, I own this property now. It's worth hopefully maybe I can say it's 1.3 or 1.4 million at this point, okay? And I would like to take a loan and get 80% of that money out of there. So maybe I pull $1 million out cash, okay? Now the property's financed, and the financing will pay for itself. So the property will have a little bit of a profit on it, but I'll be basically paying the loan on it. And then I take the $1 million and I buy a $3 to $4 million property with that, okay? And then repeat, rinse and repeat. And so that's kind of how you get rich in real estate and go to bigger and bigger things. If you guys have any questions, leave them below, and make sure you subscribe if you haven't. I'll talk to you guys next time. Take care.